What was the name of Casey's friend? I assume we already knew that, but if we didn't...
Casey's friend, I didn't know. I didn't say it. Casey's friend's name was let's see, Sidrix.
How do you spell Cedrix?
Cidrix, I'm presuming.
Sidrex.
Oh,
Sidious Rex. His last name was dead.
Okay. Thank you, Casey. Azora. You've been a big help.
Yeah, of course.
One last thing before leaving the library. Just that last question, if there have been any deaths or disappearances or anything like that. Gonna ask the librarian too, just in case I get anything different, see if, or if he gives more details. But, just in case. Any new information from him?
Librarian, you already told him that you were already told about the guy who left?
Or just to see if he says anything differently.
Right.
And if he doesn't bring up the person who left, I would bring that up. Say, you mentioned someone that left, but he didn't have a lot of information on it.
Alright, okay, so let's see. You asked the librarian if there were any deaths or disappearances before. Let's see. He says, not a people, but we had a few animals on hand, and something got into the camp and let them loose and killed a bunch of them. And we're waiting on. We should be getting more of them tomorrow. This happened actually 10 days ago.
Zora raises an eyebrow at that. Where would this be? Where
the animals were kept.
Yeah.
We had them. Well, we had them in a. We kept them in a pen around nearby the clinic.
Okay. And who exactly did you say this was? Who?
What?
Wait, I think I might have misunderstood something from the start of this. How did the animals get out? Did someone release them, or did they?
They just saw that that one day they had all run out of the pen.
Gotcha,
and there were a few of them were dead, but
okay,
the majority of them had just disappeared.
No one knows. Thank you then. And asking about the teacher who left, just if he had any more information than what the previous guy had been able to give.
Oh, him. Yeah. He was pretty popular. He was a duel instructor. Yeah, he just had to go tend to something else. We weren't really told what he had to tend to or where. He just said he had to go. A lot of the students were pretty sad, and they liked him.
Sad to hear. Anyways, did you know where he went exactly?
No, none of us. We weren't really told where. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That was very helpful.
Glad to be of help.
Let's share that with Aegis. And Azora motions for Axe to come. Let's regroup, discuss what we've heard.
Oh, sorry. My companion says Axe has to come. Well, hope you've been thinking of what Axe has told you about currency and money and labor.
Yeah.
Now I can't play Gregor next, because Gregor also doesn't understand currency. Yeah. It would be too similar, retreading ground.
And that instructor's name was
Albert Einstein.
That instructor's name was
Richard Dawkins.
Sure. His name was Dawkins.
Oh no. What have I done?
Someone
There you
asked him
go.
if he wanted white or wheat one day in the cafeteria, and he just fucking left.
He complained about these goddamn millennial students.
He got into a debate with fucking Veritas about the existence of God and just fucking couldn't handle it.
Fuck, these students would be millennials.
I think our characters are all, like, technically,
Yeah.
like, late millennials, so...
Early millennials.
Early, who cares? Late turn up to the millennium. So, alright. Aegis has just, like, been sitting there and he probably just looks bored out of his mind because they're still drilling. When do these people fucking stop?
What sort of, out of curiosity, what like type of drills and whatnot? Like how intense is what sort of training does this be?
Well, they're all cordoned off into different, trainings. There's running laps. There's sparring. There's push-ups, sit-ups, chin-ups. There's sort of magic control where they're like doing these like meditational exercises. And then there's like just channeling control with the magic, where they just kind of learn to channel, where they're channeling magic through their swords, and trying to keep that channeling going for as long as they can, and maintaining a posture.
Gotcha.
And yeah, that's basically it. And they just sort of cycle about these because they've got a few different sections, and each student kind of has to circle around for all of them.
Nice. Okay, yeah, that's what I was curious about.
Uh-huh.
But so yeah, Azora relays the whole thing. The information we found about the student, and the animals.
So wait. Who is Jetro?
Another student here had beef with at least one of the dead Cedrics. Azora does like pause to look back at the list to see what was his name again.
I mean, I said Jetro, but thank you
Yeah.
for the catch up anyway, because I did need it. So
Yeah, Jethro was the one who didn't get along with
Casey
Cedrix.
got on with him, Jeffro didn't, Sidrex is dead, and Dawkins left
Yeah.
after the animals got out.
Dawkins left before the animals got out.
Okay.
But the animals got out right before the suicide started, the day
So
before.
10 days ago.
Mm-hmm. So right now the two most pressing leads are want to talk to Jethro. There's statistically he's probably drilling right now. There's also I would investigate this animal thing.
I'm gonna Neo, this is a long fucking shot here, but I look at all the students, all the ones who've died, do all of their names end with X?
No.
Okay, damn, because I met Amarnix and Sidrex died. I was just hoping we were going to find the commonality that they're all marked for death. Like, literally, by their names are marked for death. Yeah. Unfortunate. Thought I could have cracked the code.
There's a plot point in Kingdom Hearts where it's revealed that X is a sigil of the main villain, and that he can control people and track people with X's, and that includes people who just have an X in their name.
That's
Like,
fucking great, actually. I like it. And
Yeah,
all I
same.
know out of that is that Roxas is
There's-
Sora with an X.
yeah. There's a reveal that Sora has that he's been tracking all of Sora's movements, and like there's the dramatic reveal is look at what you're wearing, and yeah, Sora's costume has like there's like a large X on like.
Well, hang on, that's bullshit. Because if you have laces, your laces will naturally form across it at some
Yeah.
point.
yeah, but this is Kingdom Hearts. This is Zipper Central.
True. Yeah, okay, they thought about that.
They justified the zippers.
Oh, that's amazing.
Honestly, the X thing, that's like a fucking wild ass stand power. Like knowing
That's X gonna give it to you, the
Yeah.
stand.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Or DMX.
But yeah, that's why whenever someone becomes a nobody and joins Organization 13, they change their name to an anagram with an X in it.
Wow.
It's billed to them as like a sort of theme thing, but actually it's a method of mind
Okay,
control.
that's cool. Maybe I should, you know what? This is gonna sound weird. That's the first thing about Kingdom Hearts I've learned that's made me want to play it ever. In fucking years of hearing about it, that's the first thing
That's like maybe the second or third thing I've heard. That like, yeah, that's like no, that's good.
there's some,
before-
you know, they had some ideas here.
Before we continue, I really have to use the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm gonna use that as an excuse to go and make a coffee. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
alright.
stop recording.
A coffee.
Okay.
So, everyone in this goddamn building. Well, actually, no. Can't say everyone. Just that one piece of shit. I should probably put his name in so we are all just
Yeah.
Veritus. Veritus. I do actually, yeah, when we do reconvene, I do actually add that, just if you're interacting with Veritas, because, you know what, Aegis is still seething over that guy. He's living rent-free in his head right now. Says, he's like, look, if you want to insult him, just suggest he's bad as a tutor, and gets right under his skin. He's very
Aegis is tilting.
tilted, proper tilted right now. You know the map update Tilted Towers isn't in Fortnite anymore and hasn't been for months? It's messed up.
What has
I
it been?
thought Fortnite ended.
Fortnite 2. You know, Swede, you haven't have you played the new Fortnite map? I say new.
No, probably not.
There's no Tilted Towers.
Huh. Ah.
Yeah. Makes you think.
Makes me think. Makes your noggin.
Make sure you get your noggin jogging. Alright, so what next?
Well,
So we have
yeah.
3 leads. There's Jethro, there's the escaped and dead animals, and there's the teacher guy leaving.
and for Aegis'
There's also,
money,
yeah, the suspicious,
yeah.
like, asshole teacher, yeah.
You know, he
So
is
we have all
he
these things.
much like Aegis is Johnny Foreigner, so
And Azor, everyone except Axe. Axe is the only Terrabo native we have.
true. Not
Terrabo native.
Hemlock
Or-
native,
Fuck, Hemlock native.
Hemlockian.
And X is
Said
well,
the guy
Axe.
came from a country out east. That's where Azor is from, out east.
I don't know why I always pictured Grimwood being to the west of here in my mental map of the world. Like Grimwood is west.
I always pictured it east. I mean, I pictured it pretty far away in either case.
So, let's see. After a while, so like evening has come. The sky's getting dark. Everyone's called to start to pack it in for the day, start to wind down, and there'll be their nightly. They're going said to gather around for the sort of nightly performance, if you like. And Yeah. Uh, So, to the center of the camp, outside, two people come in. One male and a female. One has carrying a harp, and the other a drum. And they start to play some music for everybody. It's very slow, ritualistic. People.
I do lean over to one of the students and I whisper, have people had dinner yet?
The person you lean over to just whispers, dinner hours come to a close in about 45 minutes, so I believe most people have likely had their dinner.
Okay, well, no keeping an eye on people leaving early then. No, not really
And
early.
yeah, a lot of people are just sort of, sitting down, trying to wind down and, get the stress of the day's routine out, listening to the calming music.
I'm gonna try and spout lore on the music. Well, not useful, but
it's a tradition in quite a few military or guard academies to wind down the day with a traditional musical performance.
but nothing with the specific.
No.
Yeah. While we're all here, or the students are all here, Azora's gonna try and find this Jethro person. Sit next to him.
Well, from the description you were given, Jethro, I'd say he has like a distinctive scar on his face.
Okay. I mean, I was also just gonna ask around, like, hey, I'm looking for a Jethro.
All right. Yeah, you managed to find
about
him.
it or anything.
Yeah, you managed to find him. He's sitting somewhat near the back of the gathering.
Perfect.
Is
he sitting with anyone?
No, he's very much. He's by himself. He has a very stoic face on. He's sort of on. He's sort of on his knees, basically. That kind of sitting.
Gotcha. Yeah, Azora sits down next to him. Says, "You're Jethro?"
Indeed.
I was looking for you. And Azora looks back at the piece of paper, to reread the name. Sidrix. I understand you didn't get along with him.
His face bunches up. No, we did not.
Good. Looking for a description of him from someone who wasn't, his friend. How would you describe him as a person, if you don't mind answering?
He closes his eyes and lets out like a sigh, frustrated sigh, and just says, "After the performance."
Azora nods and then just, sits quietly watching the performance next to him.
Yeah, he has his eyes closed. No, he's like, he looks meditative.
Gonna discern realities, if you don't mind.
All right.
No. What is it with discern realities?
You just haven't discerned any realities. There are only so many realities out there. You can't discern all of them. So yeah, the music performance lasts for about 10 minutes, and when it's over, they pack up. People start to shuffle about and leave, and then he opens his eyes and lets out a long exhale, and then he turns to you and says, "So you wanted to know my opinions on Sidrix, then?"
Okay.
Speaking honestly and frankly, I believe he was a misguided, pompous fool who did not understand, who did not, who chased, who wasted his talent chasing the pursuit of the blade for all the wrong reasons.
Wrong reasons.
He wanted to fight for his city. He wanted to fight for nationalistic reasons. He didn't want to fight for he didn't want to learn the art of spell sword for any legitimate noble reason. He just wanted glory and fame. Wanted renown in his hometown. Probably wanted to become some sort of noble. Of course, that dream died a quick death. For his sake, I hope it was quick.
What do most people here fight for?
Are you here?
I assume so. We were at the music performance.
Oh, because Azora said like she sought this guy out. Were you following?
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm not in
I
the
mean,
scene.
you're more than welcome to be here if you want to be.
Nah, it's alright. I'll let you have the scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want, and if you're not here, then do you want to like be looking into like, I don't know.
Well,
one
we'll
of
do
the
that.
other
We'll do
leads
that
and- yeah.
afterwards because
Okay,
he's probably
yeah.
doing something else.
Okay, cool then. That's more efficient in that case. Azora sort of nods and, comments. Been a mercenary fighting on my own for a long time, but see a lot of that sort of people. In my homeland, there are mostly two different main factions of people based off their religion trying to take over the land to form a new nation under their religion. Never saw much point to it personally.
Of course you didn't. There is no point.
Azora
No point
sort
to
of
most people.
Man, teenage angst hit this guy like a truck.
You think
Maybe
he
he
had
needs
talent though?
Maybe you need some encouraging words from Uncle
He was very talented. I dare say he was one of the most naturally gifted. I dare say he was one of the most naturally gifted students at this academy. It was a shame that it was wasted on such a misguided mind.
Azora nods and looks back over her sheet. And she's just gonna ask, how about, and list off a random other name from the list.
All right.
Yeah, I think the lead there is obviously like, is this going at the most talented and working its way down?
So you pick a random name from the list.
Yeah, that's not Cedric's.
Right. All right. Let's see. Let's say you list Katrin.
How do you spell that, please? Oh, gotcha.
Question,
We'll say that's the name
Does
you put out
everyone
there.
have 6 letters in their name?
2 syllables.
Katrin. She was one of the. Katrin. She was the most recent one. Yeah.
You didn't happen to know her, did you? Or know anyone who did?
No, I knew her. He clears his throat. He's the one who discovered the body.
Sorry to hear that. It's never gets easier. Azora lies.
Hey, Aegis isn't here, but ask who discovered her body.
Alright. I was the one who
Wait.
discovered. He said he was the one who discovered the body.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I missed that.
yeah. We shared the dormitory, which means which basically means I had to get to know her to an extent.
Any opinions on how would you describe her? Just trying to get a feel for the different people, what they were like, try and find anything in common.
Katrin, she was very ambitious, somewhat bullheaded. She believed that though she was being trained for fighting, that she could leverage it to become some sort of politician, some sort of kingmaker, if you will.
Oh my god, Katrina. Sorry, you haven't watched that show.
She believed she could become some sort of kingmaker by virtue of simply by virtue of becoming a renowned warrior. She didn't have allegiance to any particular city or nation, or even any ideal. I believe she just wanted. Well, she probably had some ideal. I can't imagine she just wanted to be in a position of influence for influence's sake. But who knows? Maybe she did.
Thank you. Azora is writing this stuff down, like taking notes, writing down, she has like a page on each person in one of her notebooks, and just a little handheld thing, and is taking notes for each of them. Azora does just nods and thanks him. Since I have you in general, and just of the others who have been found, since I'm already talking to you, do you have any if you could describe the others, or if there were any you didn't know, point me towards anyone who would know them?
Alright, he takes a look at the list and just looks up and says, I knew all of these people decently well. Only a few of them did I know to the extent that I knew Cedrix and Katrin.
Azora nods. It is a small school after all.
Yeah. He he points at one name. This was the first one to die, I believe, Fabia. She, what I know about her is she changed her name to name herself after a legendary spell sword from the olden times. Fabian believed herself to be some kind of reincarnation.
That's lore, isn't it? Fabian?
Yeah.
We found one of his old tomes in the first party.
Yeah.
He developed the Fabian Mirage.
And I'm just gonna say, Fabian, 6-letter name. She's named after him, but I don't care if you say this theory is incorrect. I'm thinking along these lines here. And what was her old name?
Never knew her old name. She was admitted as Fabia, so I'm assuming. So she had the natural talent to back up her egotism, and enough at least to be admitted under a false name. And then he looks over the others. Xavier was someone I often found myself eating dinner with. He was a quiet one. He was a quiet one, kept to himself. He mentioned being from Marion in one of our few conversations. Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
You're just hoping we can't keep up with this.
No. Was a good friend of mine. Never understood a word he said, but I helped him drink his wine.
Zach hasn't even finished the show, much less seen the outtakes.
That's from a song.
Oh yeah, but you
Yeah.
know, I don't know. In the context, it feels more, appropriate.
Well, is Jeremiah one of the real dead ones or not?
No, he's not.
Well, I'm going to take that off of my list. There's bloody Jethro kid joking around with us. It's a murder investigation.
Valenti. He came to the school with the current curriculum creator, the current curriculum creator, Veratus.
Okay, so far I've noticed all of the dead have the letter I in their name. So does the word die.
So he came to the school recently with the, curriculum.
Not recent. He came a few months ago. I believe he was that man's son. Or
What sort
nephew.
of person was he?
He was very proud. He seemed. He was another one of those people who seemed to believe that being a spell sword was a means to an end. In this case, a means to living up to a name.
How'd his father take it, or uncle, or whatever the relation?
Instructor Veratus seemed to take it as well as every other death. Which is to say, Veratus didn't seem to... Veratus regarded him, I believe, just doesn't talk about him. Doesn't respond to any questions. A few people have tried to ask him, and he's always rebuffed them, saying it doesn't matter. So let's see, how many names are we gotten down?
We have
Cedric's,
1,
Catrin.
2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Yeah.
5 of the 9.
Jethro looks through more.
Neo's getting these names from... Actually, never mind. That joke doesn't work anymore. Never mind.
Alvar. Alvar was the first...
There's no I in
Alvar
that
was
name.
one of the... Alvar was one of the first students to come from Larimer. In the whole history of the school. He was the only one of those shipped off to this camp. He was very standoffish. Didn't often quite we were often quite inflammatory. We had our fair share of spats with each other. I'd say he was the one I argued with the most, even more than Cedric's.
Zora nods.
Alright. So let's see. 3 more.
Actually, real quick, Azora asks, Larimer, where's that?
In the Titanium Heights.
When you say he's the first one from there, is that
He was
significant?
one of the first group to come from Larimer. Previously, they had not sent anyone to the Mandela School, but that changed suddenly a few years ago.
Any
And
particular
Larimer is in
reason?
the league.
I don't know. I don't care to know. Again, it's a city. I don't much care for nationalist stuff like that.
Azora nods, writing that down.
Mhm.
Axe actually comes in. Nationalist? Actually, Axe has one
you
idea.
two get along.
Oh yeah, let's let him and Jeffro discuss philosophy. That'll be an
Has
enriching
recently
conversation for the two of them.
Axe has recently discovered that money holds no real value,
Yeah.
and yet people trust it more than people. On
Sophia.
this weird.
Sophia was somewhat unique. She actually came from Seneca and felt as though apparently I didn't do much thinking into it, but as I know, it was considered that she had come to the school well before this war whatever broke out. And her staying there instead of going back home was seen as some kind of betrayal of the city, although I don't really care. She simply wanted to hone her craft, from what I can tell, and that's what people should be doing here.
I think it's really noteworthy that someone, like, clashed with this guy.
Uh.
This guy seems like the kind of guy who just naturally clashes.
Wait, but she did come here to hone her craft, so this is the first one he's like, or did I miss a beat?
This is the first one he's agreed with their reasons for being here. Or she stayed to hone her craft as opposed to go back to the city.
And this is still Alva.
No, this is Sophia.
No.
Sophia. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a fly in the ointment for the working theory.
That could just be throwing off the scent.
And she is still, Seneca. I mean, I don't think he's just killing everyone who's from a city, but,
Well, frankly, I don't think he's killing them. I think he's gonna die tonight.
Yeah, but, we have to acknowledge the theory that this guy is, he seems to have beef with a lot of these people.
Yeah. I can't argue that.
I love the little flecks of blonde in my hair. They're like gold.
So essentially, we've got this guy who's just spilling the beans that he didn't really like much of anyone. Save for Sophia.
We have one more, right?
We have two more. Edred came from Regent Springs. He was one of the...
Thank you.
Edred came from Regent Springs. He was very up himself about his magical lineage. And he was of, I believe, a very prestigious background. His parents held enough sway that they could send him bottles of their city's magical fountain to augment his magical power, which I believe clashed with the idea that he was however naturally gifted as he said he was. As he would often drink it straight before taking into magical duels.
I do have a question about all these people. I don't have to be here to ask this, but it's just something that... Are they all humans?
That's interesting.
No. They're not all humans. Xavier was...
Of course it was Xavier.
Dang half-elf.
Nope. Xavier was reptilian. Let's see. Alvar was elvish. And
From Larimer.
Yep. And so was Sophia.
Is Larimer an elven city, or is it multi?
It is mostly elfish.
Interesting. I did not expect that.
Yeah. It's like the breakdown is like
Makes sense. It's filled with
60%
bastards.
elf.
From what we've assumed.
Have we ever had a party go to Larimer?
No.
We've always avoided it. We've always skirted around the place.
Let's see. And then one more. We have. And then finally, this one, Win. There. She
Of course.
was.
Of course. She was.
She was from. She was from Tarrant. She was
Cancelled on
not she. Wow, she was not happy about being sent to the camp here. She wanted to keep up her training at the school proper and not be on the beach. But she was very, very proud of her home, of her city. She was not shy about voicing that she often voiced that we were all being trained to fight for Tarrant, which is not true. And she was.
This Jethro guy sounds like a riot at parties.
And she was
He knows
also.
everyone, talks to none of them.
And she was also, for a time, top student. But she was overtaken in that category a few weeks before she died. She was very in denial about that up to the end. And that's all of them.
Azora nods. Thank you, this has been helpful. I don't know how much this will actually help in the investigation, but the more information we have about each of them is always useful. Probably interview a few more people, but this is good. This is, a lot of information. In any case, I believe my companions have been pursuing a lead, so I should probably join them before the night goes too long.
Mhm.
Thank you very much for your help in this.
Of course.
And, she extends a hand to shake.
Yeah, he shakes it very stiffly. Yeah. You hear off in the distance someone yelling, "Let's hit those showers." Get into the barracks.
Once Jethro is gone, but once he's not around, Azor's gonna try and grab just a random other student
Uh-huh.
real quick.
Yeah, you grab someone on their way to hit those showers.
Do you know another student here, Jethro?
Jethro? Yeah, I think we pretty much all know him.
What's that mean?
He isn't afraid to speak his mind. And other people aren't afraid to speak their mind. And there are disagreements sometimes in the mess hall.
Azora nods. I can see. In any case, not who I'm particularly asking about. One of the recently deceased students, Sophia. How much do you know about her?
Sophia, she was, she basically got disowned by her family, so didn't have much to live for.
Any particular connection with Jethro? Do you know if they interacted at all, or had any particular feelings regarding each other or anything? Fought, didn't get along, anything like that? Didn't get along?
There were two incidents I remember in the mess hall. where he got into an argument and he got into an argument about the point of training, and she stood up and backed him up, which was rare. Usually in the mess hall it's just Jethro and whoever else. It's just Jethro and whoever else wants to have it out with him, having it out until things quiet down and no one else intervenes. This is one of the few times someone else stood up and she backed him up. And then another time in the mess hall, they were the subject of the war came up, and Jethro went to talk about how none of it matters and the best result would be if all the states just fell apart. And Sophia, got up and said that was callous of him. And they had probably the most heated argument I've seen ever happen in the mess hall.
Azora does, sort of raise an eyebrow at that, I see. Sophia, does she have any friends who are particularly close with her?
I believe there was, she had, two friends she ate with. Ate with at lunch hours. I believe they're probably getting ready to pack it and head to bed after hitting the showers. I should go hit those showers.
Yep. What were their names?
The friends?
Yes, please.
All right. There was Deacon, and Deacon, and Finola.
How do you spell Finola?
Finola.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh. Oh, I'm gonna go hit those showers.
You hit those showers.
I'll hit in those showers. Someone yells off in the distance, "Let's go hit those showers."
Alright. So what has the rest of the party been getting up to?
Axe has decided to look at their kitchen.
Yeah, that might be what's killing them.
Alright.
Spiking the food.
So you're in the mess. You've been in the mess hall. Got it.
You know what? I'm gonna say I went with that. I'm gonna say that Aegis did go with Axe on this one. Just to make sure he doesn't fucking
the
eat
two
the
of
place
you,
clean.
if this is anything like the last time the two of you were in a mess hall together, I don't know.
We're a good team for it. We're a good team. We've got synergy.
Yeah. Well, no, Axios goes. Think you think we get to eat food here?
I don't know. I thought like Aegis just looked at Axe and said, "I thought we came in here to investigate."
Oh yeah, that too. But Axios saw all the food.
Really good if you hit me back with, "Yes, investigate the menu."
This isn't so. The mess hall isn't super populated right now. There are. It seems to be mostly like these are basically all the students who are eating here now are the students who like eating dinner is like their lowest priority. So it's the last thing they do in the day.
So they're the least likely to die.
There's like maybe like 8 or 10 students around, and they're all eating, just this sort of basically just like meat sauce.
Where is Chef? We need to talk with Chef.
One of the students looks at you and just says, "If you want to talk to the chef, well, we all serve ourselves, so I'm pretty sure this was all made hours ago, so the chef probably isn't here."
Well, Axe is gonna investigate, he says as he just grabs a plate and starts Chucking food.
just shoves food into a plate.
Well,
Gonna
meanwhile,
investigate it.
Aegis strokes his chin and goes, well, that rules out poisoned food.
Well, I
One
don't
of the
know.
students looks at you. Poisoned what?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, poisoned food. We think we suspect that some people being poisoned.
No, I don't. Well,
Do you?
I don't. That was just one of the something I had to think about.
Yeah, see, one of them has paused with the spoon of meat right up at their
I look
At
at. Have
their-
they already
at
been
their
eating
face.
from their plate?
They have been. Yeah.
Aegis just says, "May as well eat. It's too late for you anyway."
He very slowly resumes eating.
No, Axe. I don't think the food is poisoned, but if the stews were being served, it might have been a link in the chain, even if it's one I don't think is very likely.
We should come here and investigate in the morning.
Having omelets in the morning.
Oh,
That's the highlight. I guess Aegis does help himself to some food just for the sake. He doesn't take much. He doesn't take much, but you know.
Alright.
Axe is taking some poor kid's ration.
So yeah, the student who was talking to you just sort of tries to make small talk. So you're you're third party investigators then?
Yes, we've been brought from the outside to investigate the spate of suicides.
Yeah. Real tragedy that.
Yes. Did you happen to know any of the victims?
Not particularly. It just kind of eats. It's I'm not the kind of guy who just forms an opinion on everyone I see.
Yeah, I can understand that. Hey, have you got an opinion on that Veritas guy though?
Instructor Veritas?
Instructor Veritas.
Not really. No.
You don't form an opinion even on a character such as that.
You'll find plenty of people who probably have an opinion on him. I doubt they'll be willing to voice it. Personally, I just try to stay out of his way.
Sorry, what was your name?
My name's... Let's see, my name's Pierce.
Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
You don't you didn't know any of the prior victims then, and don't have much of an opinion on them.
Nope.
Shame. You're gonna eat that, Axe points at his food.
His food, he's I wouldn't be eating it if I wasn't going to eat it.
Axe, you're checking.
I think Aegis needs to just take a few moments to comprehend that. But
They're probably gonna throw it. Well, they would throw it to the animals if we had them right now. But anyway, it's
Wait,
probably
you don't
gonna
have
be
animals?
bad by morning.
what
We did.
What animals were kept here?
Well, we mostly kept sheep, and these. We mostly kept sheep, baby basilisks, and hawks.
What were they used for?
Well, the sheep were used for wool. The baby basilisks were used for a specific training routine that was developed, and the hawks were used for the hawks were used for relaying, as messengers, as well as spot lookouts, and also for training people who are undergoing specialty training for beastmasters to be beastmasters. Also had a few pigs, but only a few.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm going to
I
leave...
was sad. I was sad. I was really sad when I woke up that day.
I'm going to leave you to it, Axe. I'm going to head out real quick.
Okay. By the way, who's the main chef? Where do you get your food from?
From when they make it in the kitchen.
Yeah, but where do they get the food?
I wouldn't know.
Do you know where I can find chef?
Probably. Well, this late he'd probably be in administration, but I doubt you could get in there.
Gonna have to check in the morning.
I guess. Okay, so Aegis, what are you doing?
Like not an active investigation thing, but Aegis had a thought, which he goes and tracks down Azora and tells her that he's gonna actually like set up and sleep now, and basically wake up in the middle of the night and basically patrol the dormitories, patrol the barracks during the evening. Like during the early morning, like when everyone's asleep.
M.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was
Wow.
muted. Yeah, Azora nods. Damn, you didn't hear my funny quips.
Wow. Look at you.
Azora nods. Sounds like a good sound idea. Would you have me wander the halls first, then, and then take shifts?
If you could.
Azora nods. As a word of advice, if you see someone hanging, cut them down as fast as you can. Even if they're not moving anymore, doesn't mean they're dead. People lose consciousness in a few seconds, but it takes a lot longer than most people think to actually asphyxiate and die while hanging. They're normally still alive for at least 10 minutes or so, upwards of
Cool.
20.
There's a really
Azora
long
will comment
pause
that.
after you just like speed dump that info on Aegis, and he goes, "Right, okay then," and just like heads off his own way.
It's useful information.
It is.
That's good information to know IRL. If someone's hanging, like that, cut them down even if you think they're dead. There's like, I mean, if you're assuming you're trying to stop
Educational
them.
corner.
It takes 15 to 20 minutes to actually die by hanging. You lose consciousness really fast, but they
Not
don't
if you're,
die instantly.
not if your neck snaps.
No, but this is
That's
like suicide. This would be a short hang, not a
I
measured hang
guess.
or a long hang.
I'm not doing a Japanese style.
All
right.
I'm gonna. Aegis actually does. As a note, because I had considered this, but I haven't really think, is that Aegis is gonna try and borrow a knife or a dagger from somewhere.
Alright.
'Cause in the eventuality I have to cut someone down, it's probably better than a spear for the purpose, and Aegis doesn't use
Alright.
it.
That's fair.
And I
You
had
could
really...
just carve a wooden knife.
True.
Okay, yeah. What do I need? What do I need to cut the wooden knife? Wood. What are the
just
Wood and a
requirements?
knife.
Ask for some wood from the supply room.
You also need a mat. Snake. You
Oh
also
yeah,
need
okay.
a
I
knife.
walk up and I knock on the supply room.
Yeah, someone answers. What?
Can I borrow some wood, please?
You a carver?
Yes.
Sure. How big?
About this much, and I say about this much.
Yeah. Right.
So just
He
to
hands
make clear,
A block of wood.
Aegis is about to carve a knife out of wood with something that apparently isn't a knife.
No, I'm gonna use. I'm really good, so I'm gonna use the side of a building to do it. It's just the corner, the edge.
Maybe he uses his spears, sticks a spear into the ground and then just moving the wood instead of moving the knife.
I don't know. I really do like the image of Aegis with a whittling knife, just whittling a knife, and just think to yourself, "I'm so fucking smart."
Alright,
Azora whittles too. I don't know. Well, I guess she can use her sword
You just
too.
see
for that.
Aegis making a wooden knife with a knife in the distance. You just think to yourself,
and
what
you
the
have
fuck?
to be impressed by it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
That's
You
the
have
fine
to
speed.
be
work.
impressed with the resourcefulness.
I've
Meanwhile,
been whittling for a couple years now, and I'm still not that good. Oh, about 2 years now.
meanwhile, you just can you see on the other side Axe walking out of the mess hall with more food?
So yeah, I'll add a wooden knife to my. Are there any tags for this thing? I'm probably never going to use it as a weapon, just so we know, wooden dagger.
It might be good to
Okay,
have a close
yeah.
quarters, instead of
It's hand.
Hand, just
Right,
hand, like
yeah.
not even like clumsy or -1 or anything.
Hand, and we'll give it -1 damage, but also concealable.
Okay,
It might be good to have
I'll be able to get it
backup,
through
like,
airport
hand
security.
weapon. It's wood, so it can go through the X-rays.
Mm.
Or metal detectors, rather, not X-rays. Can't go through those.